Hi there, welcome. This is Cathy from Red Robin Floral Furniture Refinishing. Welcome back to another tutorial. I'm part of the Couture creative team. I'm going to show you today my back entryway. It's not so pretty. I just thought I would glam it up a little bit. So that's an IKEA shoe cabinet, and I just want to lighten it up a little bit. So I'm just going to go through the prep steps. I'm going to clean it, I'm going to sand it. Now here you see I'm cleaning my back door because I decided I wanted to paint that too. I'm actually going to be doing the cabinet, the back door, and the mirror in this tutorial. So I've cleaned it and now I'm just going to give it a scuff sand. Now I'm going to use the embossing medium to fill something in. This is what I'm dealing with. There's some scratches. Now it's either from this guy or this little girl. My guess is it's that little girl. So the embossing medium is great for filling in little grooves, scratches, hardware holes. It dries really hard, and when this was dry, I just sanded it down and it was perfect. Now I'm going to use the embossing medium again. I have this big beautiful stencil. It's from Redesign with Prima, and I am going to use the embossing medium to give it a raised detail. Now my stencil wasn't flush to the cabinet, so when I pulled it away, there were a few smudgy parts. I had to push it in order to get the detail, but all I did was just wiped it up when I was done. When it was all dry, I took some sandpaper and just went over it lightly to get any of the little raised bits. And then I wiped it with kind of a damp rag. And this is what it looks like. It's really pretty. So, yes, I'm one of those people that like white furniture, but I was on the hunt for the perfect white, and Farmhouse Linen is it. So, I have other pieces in my house done in this color, and so Farmhouse Linen is my color of choice. And now I'm just going to put it on with a roller. I used one of Couture's 2-inch brushes to get into all the little grooves and along the edges. These drawers tilt down, so I just went in and brushed all along the inside. This paint is from Couture's mineral paint line, and so it's a 3-in-1. It has the primer, the color, and the top coat. Now, the body of this piece, I didn't top coat it, but I did top coat up on the top because that gets the most action, and that's where my cat sits. Here I am going in with the second coat. Now, because this was such a dark base, when I started, I ended up putting 3 coats of paint on. Okay, so now while that is drying, I decided to work on the mirror. I did the same prep. I cleaned it and I scuff sanded it. And I was noticing some black dust was coming off of this mirror as I was scuff sanding it. So I decided to use Couture's 2-in-1 primer just to lock in any of that dust. This primer is bonding and blocking, So it is exactly what I needed in this case. So here I am just going in with the Farmhouse Linen paint. For this I did 1 coat of primer and 2 coats of paint. Now when this was all dry, I put a couple of transfers on. Of course, there's 2 transfers here, and they are both from Redesign with Prima. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. So pretty. I mean, it's a simple project, but it turned out so nice. Okay, so now we go on to the door. I have prepared that, scuff sanded it, cleaned it. I'm going to be using Couture's Autumn Sage. This is part of their chalk style paint line, and it just goes on like a dream. When I paint, I do very thin layers. So I actually did 3 coats on the door. If you use more paint, then for sure you could do it in 2 coats. That is after the first coat. And now I'm going to do the second coat. So now I'm going to use the Satin top coat, and with the cabinet, because I used a 3-in-1 paint, I don't have to do a top coat because it does have a built-in top coat. However, because the top of this cabinet does get a lot of action, I decided that just for the top I was going to put a top coat on. Now, because I used a chalk style paint on the door, I put a top coat, several coats of top coat over the whole thing. And I also put a top coat over the transfers. That's the 3-in-1 paint again, but because I have transfers on there, I wanted to seal it in. Okay, here's the finished product. I think it just looks really nice and fresh. Thank you so much for joining along today. If you are interested in any of the products, they will be listed in the description below. Please consider subscribing to this channel so that you can see fresh new content from the creative team every week. Oh, little Gracie has to get into all the action. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great day.